What's going on, guys? My name is Tyler and welcome back to the channel for another very important AMC update video. So we're going to be giving you guys the brief rundown of the Ortex data, the technical analysis because we are at a key level, go over the Stonko tracker data, if there is an influence going into next week between calls and puts, if we can see a pop to the upside or a potential downside via all the puts that are in the money or potentially going into the money. But a bigger portion of this video is going to be going over what I expect to come from earnings. And I think this is going to be the most volatile, the most important week going ahead for AMC and the AMC short squeeze. So this is definitely a video that you guys will not want to miss out on. If you want to see AMC stock go straight to the moon, make sure to drop that like on the video as well as comment down below. Let me know what you think about earnings. And just to reiterate, earnings is after hours on Monday. So if you guys want to make any trades on this, like I am, if you want to make the exact same trade as me or a trade similar, check out the link for the buy and sellers. But nevertheless, you'll have to make that trade before market closes on Monday. Also, at the same time, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on that notification bell so you'll be notified in real time when these videos are posted. You definitely don't want to miss out on that as well. So taking a brief look at the technical analysis, guys, I have been calling out this $33 support level for a very long time, and look at where we closed at $33 exactly. I do think this is overall a bullish thing. Obviously, we did hit this low at $28.57. The fact that we came back up to this really critical support level at $33 per share and literally close at $33 per share is a good thing. It would have been better to get closer to $40 coming around to earnings. So it's going to be very important to see what does happen coming Monday or tomorrow into those earnings. But nevertheless, I think there's a huge opportunity here to either go up or down a lot. Who knows what that'll be? It's really a coin flip at this point, but I do think on earnings Monday after hours and then going into Tuesday, you're gonna get some level of good guidance or bombshell information coming out from the company that will send AMC much higher. But as far as the technicals are concerned, we obviously have to break out past the 50-day moving average, which is $35.89, and then the $40 resistance level. After that, you're looking at $45.66 being this 200-day moving average, which is going to be the next significant level to pass. So obviously we have a lot of work to do to the upside before we're talking about a full-on breakout. But as you guys can even see from when we did hit this low, we are pretty much consolidating out at $33. We went up a little bit over that, came back down to 33. So it's really a coin flip in what can happen, but it does look like, or I would go as far as to say, I think we're going to have a good earnings season. So that is all as far as the technical analysis that you guys should even be paying attention to. Obviously, if the volume does come back into AMC, which we have seen a volume increase from some of the lower days that we have seen, about 50 million, 50 to 60 million. Just the other day, we did see 108 million for volume. And then on Friday, back down to those low volume numbers at 52 million. So definitely pay attention to that. That'll give us some indication of how many shares obviously are trading hands per day. Now, a quick Ortex update, guys. The current short interest percentage of free float at 16.3%, which is almost categorized as extreme short interest. So right here, you're likely to see some level of short squeeze if we do see that price action to the upside increasing. The current shares are estimated that are sold short of 83.37 million, a very large amount relative to the volume that we are seeing. Short interest change for Friday was 4.52% to the positive. Borrowed shares of 6.78 million, return shares of 2.19 million, borrowed change of 4.59 million. Keep in mind, this is actually coming from the free flow on loan, which is almost at 20%. Obviously, short interest at 16.3%. So if you're seeing return shares or borrowed shares, it doesn't necessarily mean that those are shares that are actually being shorted or covered. It just means the shares that are out on loan to other hedge funds, institutions, whoever they are, that are either returning these shares or doing whatever they are doing, borrowing or returning these shares, but not actually necessarily covering on their short positions. Now, as far as the actual Stonko tracker data, that's the next thing I want to get into. For next week, we don't see much activity on the put or the call side. It's almost neutral, guys. For in the money calls, you're seeing 11,841. For in the money puts, you're seeing 11,950 puts. So you're seeing this pretty much neutral, balancing out. I don't think you're going to get an influence from the option chain at all throughout next week. So if we do see a pop in price, I mean, you could get some level of influence from options, but if you see a significant pop in price, it's either hedge funds, institutions buying the stock, market makers maybe doing a little bit less shorting, hedge funds, institutions, you guys know what I'm talking about, or we are seeing some shorts that are covering. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Obviously, if they were going to cover, why would they have not covered already when we were in the high 20s? It just doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. But let's move on to the Fintel data, guys, and we are taking a look at institutions and hedge funds, their ownership in AMC, whether they are selling out, whether they are buying, all of that good stuff. Now, we did get a lot of these 13F filings, coming out on Friday. I will highlight all of these for you. August 6th, all of these were filings that did come out on Friday. You could see 1, 2, 3 sells, and this red means they completely sold out. The white and gray means they have not done anything with their positions. They have held on to the same positions. A lot of the average cost on these positions per share is about $33. So definitely bullish right there if they're holding on to their positions, especially going into a very important week. This earnings is so important for many investors, guys. But we are seeing even more firms that are actually initiating calls, and obviously some that are hedging these with puts. But you're definitely seeing a lot more call and just buying and holding on AMC stock than you were actually seeing for selling, and that is only for the filings that did come out on Friday. But if you just continue down the list, yes, you've seen a bit of red right here on the filings that did come out August 2nd. But for the overall grand scope of AMC, firms are either holding on to their positions or they are buying more or loading up on new positions. So definitely bullish, like I said, going into this earnings, which is going to be the most important earnings. And basically, AMC was opened throughout all of Q2. So like I said, this is going to be a very important earnings. And if you guys are unaware, I know I've made quite a few videos going over analyst expectations for earnings. They are expected to pull in, by they I mean AMC, about $341 million for revenue. Now, they are still expected to be negative or taking a loss, but investors really don't care about that right now. They just want to see the biggest things, right? Let's just break it down for you guys. Is good guidance, what is going to happen, like I already did say, or what they expect to happen. But they also want to see AMC as a theater business that most people expect theaters in the next 20-30 years won't be around. The investors really want to see AMC step it up and become that theater chain that will be around, that will survive and continue to grow. Whether that is just diversifying the business, buying other businesses, whether it's buying theaters that had a hard time during 2020 that had to shut down, which they have been doing, which did give investors a lot of hope for the management of AMC. And just to be clear, I am very hopeful of the management of AMC. I think they're doing the best possible job given the circumstances, given the business situation that they are in, and they are doing the most out of it. But whether that is also with exclusive events, like I think that the UFC fight was a beautiful thing that they did for AMC as a business. A lot of people pay a lot of money for UFC fights or other sporting events, and to be able to go and watch it with other people for about half the cost, and obviously selling popcorn, candy, all this other stuff at the same time, I think is a huge win for AMC. Also, if they can focus on AMC on demand, which a lot of people don't know about, I think you could just see a higher multiple to AMC stock. And ultimately, there's a lot of other things. I don't even want to get into everything. There's a lot of things that could come out on this earnings that could be huge for AMC stock, that could send us much higher, but we won't know until tomorrow after hours once we do get that earnings call, and I'll be listening to the whole earnings call, breaking down the most important things that you guys need to know and bringing that to you in a video. But long story short, guidance is what is important, and to see innovation with the company to grow revenue. The numbers, you can kind of throw the numbers out the window unless you see a huge miss, a $50 to $100 million miss. That would definitely have a negative influence to investors and the stock price. If you do see see a beat, obviously a $50 to $100 million beat would be good as well, but if you see small marginal misses or beats, you're not really going to see that influence the overall stock price, because the stock market is a forward-looking instrument. So investors really care about what is going to happen into the future. When you're buying a stock today, you're not buying it for what it's necessarily worth right now. You're buying it for what it's going to be worth 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years into the future. So keep that in mind, guys. What is important on earnings is guidance and what the company is expected to do, or what they announce they're going to do to branch out revenue, become a more sustainable company. So that's really what I will be watching for. Like I said, I'll be sure to bring you guys any information that does come out on that earnings call. I will be watching, or listening to, I should say, the whole thing. So with that being said, if you guys want to be notified when that video is posted tomorrow, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. At the same time, make sure to drop that like on the video if you like the analysis and content that was provided to you, and also comment down below, let me know what you think about earnings. Now, if you guys want, check out the link down below in the description for the buy and sell alerts. I'll be making a earnings trade on AMC. I think we're in a great position right now where we could go either way, so I'm going to be doing a bit of hedging. And if you guys want to be notified in real time when that trade is made, definitely check out the buy and sell alerts. Very inexpensive. But that is going to do it for this video. You guys enjoy the rest of your night, get ready for tomorrow, and I will see you guys in the next one.